but this role of a provider, do you think we need to reimagine it? Because if women are calling on men to step out of the 50s, I think they need to start taking their own advice. The term sole provider meant men were the only ones working by default. We were the provide, like you took care of the children because there was no work for you to do other than, labor in somebody's house. Men went out and worked in the coal mine and did anything to bring food back to the table. Women lobbied to have it this exact way for open access to the labor market. So should they step out of the 50s? Am I wrong for that? Should they step out of the 50s and adjust the term provider? What do y'all think?
So that's where I get crossed up at. It seems that people go back and forth with how they want men to be, how they want men to still be traditional, but then they don't want any parts of traditionalism. Um, so I completely agree. We would have to really, I think people who get it. I think married couples who are really moving towards modern times. Um, as a new mom, we kind of have a piece of the past and the future, right? Because my husband allowed me to stay home, and took care of me through two pregnancies and took care of our home through two pregnancies twice. Um, and then I did baby bonding after the pregnancy. So I took off work while I was pregnant at some point. And then through up until he was about 7 months old. So almost like a year apiece with both kids. So that's how, like, literally those finances, like, okay, we were here and then I just completely dropped out of the I completely dropped completely out of the finances and my contribution to our family. And, thank God I have an amazing husband who supporting me in doing that. But, in 2023, it moms, we're working, like we're getting it, so
Mhm.
having that privilege to be able to do that, I don't take that lightly. But I also love being able to contribute. Yes, I'm college educated, and contribute with my career and putting my money to our pot, because that's what
Mhm.
it is, it's our pot. And so, the new modern couples that are working and doing it together, but still have those traditional foundations of, my husband is the head of our household. He's telling me, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going in the future. And I get on board with it. And I'm like, I make it happen as a woman would. Nurture, give me the seed, and I'm going to water it and do whatever I need to do to make it pop, because I have those skills as a young mother and wife. And so people need to come to 2023. That whole 350 to 70K, that's a lot of money. What are we
Yeah.
talking about? What are we talking about? Really, what are we talking about? That is a lot of money together. So y'all make it work. It shouldn't be a power dynamic, right? Because it should be one pot, and y'all move into happily ever after, if that's the case, if that's what you want. But a lot of people don't want that.
So interestingly enough, I tried to think just now, when was that such a large gap between me and somebody? And month three of me moving to Houston, I was at Belvedere. In fact, I went to Belvedere every Friday. It's a club out here that used to have a Nigerian night. It was dope. And there was a doctor. She's actually a huge doctor. She was a doctor slash associate professor at Baylor College of Medicine. And because I was suited and booted, right? She came up to me, good conversation. So on our first, I think we went on 2 or 3 dates, if I can remember. She was like that, doing the thing where trying to figure out if I was somebody who would be insecure with the amount of money she made, and no, and seeing the things that I saw growing up, it never once crossed my mind. But I always, like, even as older now, and I married, somebody else, in the back of my mind, as I watch videos such as this, I'm like, what would my life been like? She moved to New York. She got a job and just up and moved to New York, which is another way to think like, oh, I hope you didn't think about my ass was moving with you. I just moved here. You see what I'm saying? But I always wonder, would this lady have treated me like that woman treated this guy? Now, mind you, not a lot of people are making 300 to 350K. So if a man has to just understand that he's not going to, we don't actually care, but we do marry people that are equal to us, meaning equal in education, equal in work ethic. If you go look at the numbers, people are actually marrying people like that because look at how y'all meet, right? Look at how y'all meet. People with personal training businesses usually marry each other. Female personal trainer, male person, so on and so forth. Doctors marry lawyers, that type of thing. So you marry somebody who already has something going on. I just don't know why we feel the need to start treating people different after the fact. I think it's very detrimental to society when we make money the measurement for how we treat people. Miss Polly, what you think?
Yeah. Um, I definitely agree. Um, you know, like in like I guess well just gaining more knowledge and understanding of just myself and my relationships I'd like to have, that actually is not the forefront. It used to be, but it no longer is. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, I'm in realization that like, when I get to a certain age, whoever I'm going to be partnered with or whatnot, is at the end of the day, it's like the connection I have with the person, because that money is not going to mean too much when we're rolling in a wheelchair trying to figure out, you know, or what we're going to eat for breakfast the next day. It's totally different in my mind of I want to have a connection with someone. I want to enjoy my time with someone when I get older. I want to be able to just reminisce with them and enjoy them. And the money, even though it's nice, yeah, you could enjoy living in a nicer house, whatever. But most people, when they get to a certain age, they're not trying to live in no giant house. They ain't trying to run the streets, run all over. They're just trying to have a relaxed, regular, day out with, whoever they're with and get a routine. That's what, most people do when they get to a certain age. And that's what I'm kind of looking for. So in my mind now, when I picture someone in a financial situation, I don't put it at the number one priority. Not saying it's never a priority, but it isn't like the first thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at more of a, are we on the same, like you said, playing field when it comes to the idea of where we're going in life? What goals are we trying to meet? Or we're all going in the same direction? It no longer is finances, because everyone has highs and lows. Let's just be honest. Like you said, a lot of men don't even hit their peak until they're like in their 50s. So if you're talking about you're meeting a man and he's 28, he may not be there. He may be really low. Are you going to really get rid of a good man because he's just not at his peak yet? And I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of put that priority a little bit lower on the list, for most people.